Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel here for another week in review. This is week, I think it's 19, might be 20. I forgot to look and I really don't care. Just before we get into stuff, I want to look at my weekly pose practice. This was, what was it? June 27th to today, which is July 3rd. So I kind of discovered something during this week as we filter through these. Some of these are actually like pretty nice looking, but the thing that I discovered is that without really constantly referring to the reference, I'm kind of hopeless. And not hopeless, but I don't, I thought I understood like the structure a little more. Like for things like this, like laying out the torso and stuff, I need to constantly be referring back to the reference I'm looking at, the pose and everything to make sure I'm doing it in the right place. Because if I try and do it on my own, I can't really visualize where things would be properly. So I think what I'm going to do for the time being is try and not refer so much to the reference. And I've tried it, I think it was not this day, but maybe the next day. Like some of these are pretty nice, right? Like I'm pretty good. My eyes are good, I think. But I need to train my brain a little more. Like this is fine. Proportionally, everything is looking good, like the balance and stuff. I'm pretty happy with it. Can't remember which day it was. But one of the days for the 5-minute poses, what I did is I spent like the first minute or so, it might have even been this day to be honest. I spent like the first minute looking at the pose, and then I tried to redraw it without really referring back. And I think it was this day, because I remember these poses. And like this one, I couldn't even finish it, it's like really slow, and I'm like, where, what is the angle? I couldn't remember everything, so I want to rely on my brain a little more than my eyes. My eyes are well trained, and then I went back to just using my eyes here. So I think that's kind of the thing that I discovered this week, is that I don't really understand this stuff as well as I thought I did. I can look at something and then kind of reconstruct it, but in terms of constructing something from scratch, that's where I really struggle. I like this one. I like a lot of these, to be honest. And then this was yesterday's. So yeah, going forward, I think this week I'm going to specifically practice poses. I'm not going to do a lot of colored sketches and stuff this week. I don't really know, to be honest, and then here's today's. I think what I want to do is make sure that I know a little bit better how to like rotate these shapes in 3D, so that I can kind of put action poses together without, not necessarily from memory, but without I do like maybe 1 or 2 lines and then I look, at my reference over there. And then I'll do another 2 lines, I really, really rely on the reference. So I want to cut back on that just a bit. Yeah, so that's that. That's where I'm at with poses. And then for the recap this week, I went a little longer than I usually do. This one was on the 27th. I think this was like 4.5 hours. I was focusing on clothing this week. And so for this one, I did like frilly, this kind of thing where there's like, what do you call it? Like frills or whatever of like a dress. And then there was some more like on the sleeves. I don't really know that I got it. I can kind of get the shape down, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, where's this attaching, And like this sort of thing. I mean, it looks okay. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out, but it's really difficult. It's really hard. What I did is I didn't do the shadows really on this. I did like some basic shadows, but what I'll probably do is in the future come back to this one and maybe some of the other ones that I did that are unfinished and do like proper shadows on it, like practicing shadows. So I've kind of got this as like a backup for the future, ready to go. I did this one the next day, same thing, like really simple shadows, but I was thinking of clothing. So I did like more of a straighter skirt sort of thing, and if the eye level is down below here somewhere, you're seeing like this underside as well. So I was like thinking of that sort of thing. And then mostly the sleeves on this one. Sleeves are really hard. And like here as well. I think I got to the point where I can sort of improvise and come up with a sleeve that looks okay. But I was also messing with the polka dot, what is it called? Like tone gradient backgrounds. I think that's kind of cool. yeah, working on clothing this week. Next one was this one. Again with the sleeves. I don't know. I'm getting there, but it's hard. And again, very simple shadows. All of these were a little more time than usual, maybe like 4 hours or 3 or 4 hours or something. I can't really remember. But the main focus was clothing. So this one was like, again, these sort of pleats of the skirt. Thinking about how that looks, it's really difficult. I feel like there's more like of a structure to it that I need to understand. And like the socks, how they bunch up kind of at the feet. I think that turned out pretty good. And the shoes looked good too. Spent a lot of time on these shoes. Yeah, clothing just here. I think this shirt's pretty good. The collar as well. I really suck at these collars. You know, it just feels a little wrong. So I'm getting there though. Next day was this one. I did like a hoodie. I forgot some detail lines on the pants here. So the pants look kind of empty. To be honest, I just forgot when I was doing my line art. But I think the hoodie looks good. I thought about the hand kind of weighing down this pocket, front pocket thing. I think that looks pretty good. And again, with the sleeve. I was trying to do sleeves most of the days, right? And I think I got to the point where I sort of have like a philosophy of how to do this, you know, like bunching up in here. It's still really confusing though. I basically just have to do trial and error until it works, sort of thing. Pants are a little confusing too. I don't really know what to do at the bottom. Like it kind of bunches up maybe. I don't really know. I don't really know where like the folds come in like this. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of these this week. Again, mostly because I took a little more than usual. Usually for these rough streams, I'll do them in like 2 hours. But I went long, I think, most days. And then this is the one I did for the weekly prompt. This was, I think it was only like 2.5 hours. It wasn't that much longer. But again, the sleeve. I used what I learned on the sleeve, kind of bunching up in the corner here. I think it works. You know, these hands were really hard. But I kind of just phoned it in, to be honest, on this one. I was like, sure, it's good enough, you know. Didn't do any toes, whatever, right? I think this one is fun. The idea I had was to kind of carry the expression with the rest of the pose, so like the ears kind of perking up and like the feet, like, whoa, you know? I don't know if I really did the best job at it. The ears can be pointier, I think, maybe going up more. But I think it's fine. I'm happy with this one too. Yeah, and again, similar things with like how the folds of clothing work on the background here, like the bed or whatever this is, you know? There's kind of a similar idea with how this stuff works that I'm slowly gathering information on. I don't know. There's a lot to learn with clothing in particular, and like folds and stuff, fabric, drapery, so I'm getting there. I'll probably have to revisit it again coming up soon. And yeah, that's basically it for this week. I'm pretty happy with this one, to be honest. This one and also this one here. I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff I did this week. So yeah, there's another week in review. Thanks for watching. I'll be back again with another one next week. So long. There you go, cut.